You know what's better than planting once and harvesting for a season? Planting once and harvesting for the next decade. Imagine walking into your garden in April, July, October, even February, and still finding food waiting for you. No replanting. No panic buying seeds every spring. Just pure, endless abundance growing on autopilot. Stick around, because what I'm about to share will completely transform how you think about growing food. Hey there, garden lovers. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we grow more while spending less. If you're new here, you just stumbled onto something special. This is where budget-friendly gardening meets serious results. We're all about practical tips that actually work in real backyards, not just Instagram photos. Today's episode? It's genuinely one of the most valuable videos I've ever made for this channel. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's dig into something that'll keep feeding you year after year. Before we jump in, do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss our weekly garden wisdom. And here's the deal. If you find even 3 plants in today's list that excite you, leave a comment telling me which ones. I read every single comment, and I love hearing what you're planning to grow. Plus, it helps this video reach more gardeners just like you. All right, let's get growing. So here's the truth most gardening channels won't tell you. Annual gardening is expensive, exhausting, and honestly, kind of unnecessary. Every spring, millions of gardeners spend hundreds of dollars replacing plants that, well, they'll just have to be replaced again next year. It's like renting your vegetables instead of owning them. But perennials? They're the ultimate investment. You plant them once, and they return year after year, getting bigger, producing more, and asking for almost nothing in return. Some of the plants I'm sharing today will outlive your car, maybe even your mortgage. Now, I'm not talking about the usual suspects you've heard 1,000 times. Sure, we'll cover some classics, but I'm also bringing you the underground heroes, the ones that laugh at frost, shrug off neglect, and still show up with baskets full of food. These are plants that make you look like a gardening genius without the work of being one. Let's break this down into categories so you can find exactly what fits your garden, your climate, and your dinner table. Section 1. The Leafy Abundance. Crop 1. Sorrel. First up, sorrel. Think of this as nature's lemon in leaf form. It's got this bright, tangy zing that wakes up salads, soups, and sauces. Plant it once in a sunny or partially shaded spot, and it'll pump out leaves from early spring until the first hard freeze. The best part? It actually tastes better in cooler weather, so while your lettuce is bolting in May, sorrel is thriving. Cut leaves from the outside, let the center keep growing, and you've got a perpetual salad bar. Crop 2. Walking onions. These things are bizarre in the best way possible. Instead of flowers, walking onions grow tiny bulbs on top of their stalks. These bulbs get heavy, topple over, plant themselves, and boom, new onions sprout up a few inches away. They literally walk across your garden. You can harvest the underground bulbs like regular onions, use the greens like chives, or eat those top-set bulbs. It's 3 crops in one weird, wonderful package. Crop 3. Turkish rocket. Here's one most people have never heard of. Turkish rocket tastes like a cross between arugula and broccoli peppery, slightly nutty, and totally addictive. It shoots up in early spring when nothing else is ready, giving you greens weeks before lettuce even thinks about germinating. Harvest the young leaves and flower buds. Both are delicious. Once established, it's basically indestructible. Drought? No problem. Poor soil? It thrives. Neglect? I prefer it. Crop 4. Good King Henry. This medieval green was a staple crop before spinach became popular, and honestly, we should bring it back. The leaves taste like mild spinach, the young shoots can be cooked like asparagus, and even the flower buds are edible. It grows in partial shade where most vegetables struggle, and it produces from early spring through fall. One plant can feed you for 15 years. That's a better return than most retirement accounts. Crop 5. Sea kale. Picture cauliflower, asparagus, and cabbage having a sophisticated baby. That's sea kale. In early spring, you can blanch the shoots for a delicate, nutty flavor. Later, the leaves work like collards. It's a coastal plant originally, so it handles salt, wind, and sandy soil like a champion. Give it full sun and decent drainage, then basically forget about it. Year 3 onwards, you'll wonder why everyone isn't growing this. Quick pause. How many of these have you actually heard of before? Drop a number in the comments. And if you're getting value from this, smash that like button. It genuinely helps more gardeners discover information like this, and honestly, everyone deserves to know about plants that work this hard for us. Section 2. The fruit bearers. Crop 6. Alpine strawberries. Forget those giant, tasteless supermarket strawberries. Alpine strawberries are tiny, intensely flavored, and they produce continuously from late spring until frost. They don't send out runners like regular strawberries, so they stay where you put them, perfect for edging beds or tucking into corners. They'll grow in partial shade, tolerate neglect, and naturalize beautifully. Eating them fresh is like tasting concentrated sunshine. Crop 7. Honeyberries. These taste like blueberries mixed with raspberries and a hint of grape. They fruit in late spring, often before strawberries, and they're loaded with antioxidants. Here's the kicker. They're hardy to -40 degrees. If you live where winters are brutal, honeyberries laugh at conditions that kill other fruit plants. They need a pollination partner, so plant at least 2 varieties. Within 3 years, you'll be harvesting pounds of berries from plants that'll outlive you. Crop 8. Gooseberries. Gooseberries get a bad reputation because people pick them unripe and wonder why they're sour. Let them fully ripen, and they transform into these sweet tart gems perfect for pies, jams, or eating by the handful. They fruit on old wood, so once established, they're incredibly productive. They handle shade better than most fruit, making them perfect for those tricky north-facing spots. Just wear gloves when harvesting. Most varieties have an attitude in the form of thorns. Crop 9. Currants. Red, white, and black currants are ridiculously easy. They produce clusters of jewel-like berries on bushes that ask for almost nothing. Black currants have this intense, musky sweetness that's perfect for jams and liqueurs. Red and white currants are brighter, tangier, and beautiful in desserts. They fruit in midsummer when the spring rush is over, extending your harvest season. Plant them in sun or partial shade, mulch once, and collect berries for the next 20 years. Crop 10. Rhubarb. Everyone knows rhubarb, but not everyone realizes how ridiculously productive one plant becomes. A mature crown can yield 10 to 15 pounds of stalks per year. It's one of the first things up in spring, and those tart, rosy stalks make incredible pies, jams, compotes, and even savory chutneys. Plant it in rich soil with good drainage. Divide it every 5 to 8 years, and you'll have more rhubarb than you know what to do with. Pro tip: the leaves are toxic, but they make excellent compost. Crop 11. Ground cherries. These little golden berries grow in papery husks, and they taste like pineapple mixed with vanilla and a whisper of tomato. While some varieties are annual, many will self-seed so aggressively that they become functionally perennial. In warmer zones, some species are truly perennial. They produce hundreds of fruits per plant. They store for weeks in their husks, and kids absolutely love hunting for them in the garden. Crop 12. Hardy kiwi. Not the fuzzy grocery store kind. These are smooth-skinned, grape-sized, and you eat them whole. They're packed with even more vitamin C than citrus, and one mature vine can produce over 100 pounds of fruit. They need sturdy support because they're vigorous climbers, and you'll need male and female plants for pollination. They're slower to establish, but once they hit their stride around year 5, you'll be sharing harvests with everyone in the neighborhood. Section 3. The underground treasures. Crop 13. Jerusalem artichokes. These are also called sunchokes, and they're basically sunflowers that make edible tubers. They taste nutty and slightly sweet like a cross between a potato and an artichoke heart. They grow 10 feet tall with cheerful yellow flowers, then produce masses of knobby tubers underground. Fair warning: they spread enthusiastically, so plant them where they can roam or contain them. Harvest after frost for the best flavor, and leave a few in the ground to regrow next year. Crop 14. Groundnut. This native North American vine produces chains of small tubers that taste like a cross between potatoes and peanuts. Indigenous peoples cultivated them for centuries. The vines are nitrogen fixers, improving your soil while they grow. They produce edible flowers too, which are fragrant and beautiful. They prefer moist soil and partial shade, perfect for those damp spots where nothing else thrives. Crop 15. Horseradish. If you like wasabi or horseradish sauce, grow this. One root planted will spread into a massive colony. Dig roots in fall or early spring, grate them fresh, mix with vinegar, and you've got condiment gold. The greens are edible too, though pretty spicy. Plant it in a contained area or a deep bucket, because this stuff is nearly impossible to eliminate once it's happy. That's not a complaint, it's a feature. Crop 16. Chinese artichoke. These produce small, ridged tubers that look like cartoon caterpillars. They've got a mild, nutty flavor and a crispy texture that stays even when cooked. They're incredibly easy to grow. Plant tubers in spring. Ignore them all summer. Harvest in fall. They'll naturalize happily and spread moderately. Use them anywhere you'd use water chestnuts or roast them until they caramelize. Section 4. The stalks and shoots. Crop 17. Asparagus. The king of perennial vegetables. Yes, everyone knows asparagus, but not everyone appreciates that a single planting will produce for 20 to 30 years. Those first 2 years of waiting are tough, but once production starts, you'll get 6 to 8 weeks of daily harvests every spring. Plant crowns in trenches with plenty of compost, mulch heavily, and resist harvesting the first 2 years. Your patience will be rewarded with decades of spears. Crop 18. Cardoon. This is the artichoke's dramatic, architectural cousin. Instead of the flower buds, you blanch and eat the stalks, which taste like sophisticated celery with artichoke undertones. They grow 5 to 6 feet tall, with stunning silver foliage and purple thistle flowers. They're drought-tolerant once established and create a bold statement in the garden. In mild climates, they're truly perennial. In colder zones, they often self-seed enthusiastically enough to be functionally perennial. Crop 19. Lovage. Think of lovage as celery on steroids. The leaves, stems, seeds, and roots are all edible, with an intense celery parsley flavor. One plant grows 5 to 6 feet tall and produces enough foliage to flavor soups, stocks, and stews for an entire family. It's one of the first plants up in spring and keeps producing until hard frost. Plant it once, ignore it mostly, and harvest it for decades. Section 5. The herbs that keep giving. Crop 20. Oregano. True Greek oregano is a woody perennial that gets more flavorful as it matures. It forms spreading mats of aromatic foliage, produces pretty flowers that bees adore, and tolerates drought like a desert native. Harvest regularly to keep it bushy, and dry the leaves for winter use. One plant will supply more oregano than most families need, and it'll do it for years without complaint. Crop 21. Thyme. Thyme is the ultimate low-maintenance herb. It handles neglect, drought, poor soil, and foot traffic. Creeping varieties make excellent ground covers that release fragrance when stepped on. Upright varieties provide concentrated flavor for cooking. It's evergreen in many climates, meaning fresh thyme even in January. Trim it back after flowering to keep it compact and productive. Crop 22. Sage. Sage becomes a woody subshrub that can live for decades with minimal care. The silvery green leaves are perfect for autumn dishes, sausages, and brown butter sauces. It produces spikes of purple flowers that pollinators mob. Plant it in full sun with good drainage, and it'll basically take care of itself. Harvest leaves year-round in mild climates, or dry them in fall for winter use. Crop 23. Chives. These might seem boring, but hear me out. Chives are one of the first things up in spring, providing fresh green flavor when everything else is dormant. The purple pom-pom flowers are edible, gorgeous, and beloved by beneficial insects. They self-seed moderately, slowly expanding their territory. Divide clumps every 3 years to keep them vigorous. Use the greens anywhere you want mild onion flavor without the harshness. Crop 24. French tarragon. Real French tarragon, not the inferior Russian variety, has this unique anise-like flavor that's essential for béarnaise sauce and countless French dishes. It's a true perennial that dies back in winter and re-emerges in spring. It doesn't produce viable seed, so you'll need to buy plants or get divisions. Once established, it spreads slowly through underground runners, creating a flavorful patch that'll last for years. Section 6. The unusual multitaskers. Crop 25. Daylilies. Wait, flowers? Yes, daily buds, flowers, and young tubers are all edible. The buds taste like green beans with a slight sweetness, incredible stir-fried. The flowers have a crisp, lettuce-like texture perfect for stuffing or adding to salads. They're impossibly easy to grow, tolerate almost any condition, and they're beautiful to boot. Just make sure you're growing true daylilies, not other lily species which can be toxic. Crop 26. Hosta. Another ornamental that's secretly food. Young hosta shoots, called urui in Japan, are considered a delicacy. They taste like mild asparagus. Harvest them when they're tightly furled in spring, before the leaves unfold. The plants recover quickly and fill in with their attractive foliage. They thrive in shade where vegetables struggle, making them perfect for forest gardening or challenging spots under trees. Crop 27. Nodding onion. This native wildflower produces edible bulbs, greens, and flowers. It naturalizes beautifully, forming drifts of graceful, nodding pink blooms that pollinators adore. The flavor is mild and sweet, perfect for situations where regular onions would be too strong. It handles shade, tolerates clay soil, and requires zero maintenance once established. It's food, medicine, and pollinator support all in one elegant package. Crop 28. Caucasian spinach. This perennial leafy green is virtually unknown outside of Scandinavia and Russia. It climbs up trellises or shrubs, producing tender, spinach-like leaves from early spring through fall. It's shade-tolerant, cold-hardy, and productive. The young shoots taste like asparagus, the mature leaves work like spinach, and it grows where traditional vegetables give up. It's rare, but worth tracking down if you can find it. Crop 29. Multiplier onions. These include potato onions and shallots that multiply underground. Plant one bulb, and by harvest time, you'll have 5 to 8 new bulbs. Replant the largest ones, eat the rest, and you've got a self-perpetuating onion supply. They store incredibly well, often lasting 6 to 8 months in a cool, dry place. Once you establish a patch, you'll never need to buy onion sets again. Look, I get it. This list might feel overwhelming. 29 plants is a lot. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't need all of them. Pick 3 that excite you. Start there. Get them established, learn their rhythms, and then add more. The real magic of perennial gardening isn't just the reduced work, though that's wonderful. It's the relationship you build with plants that stick around. You learn their quirks. You anticipate their seasons. You watch them mature and become more generous each year. And here's what nobody talks about. Perennial gardens create resilience. When the grocery store is out of fresh greens, you've got sorrel. When asparagus costs $8 a pound, yours is free. When times are uncertain, these plants are still there, quietly producing, asking for almost nothing. Start small, but start. Pick one plant from this list today. Get it in the ground this season. Next year, while your neighbors are panic buying seedlings, you'll be harvesting breakfast. And the year after that, you'll have even more. And more. This is how you build abundance that lasts. Before you go, I need to know which 3 plants are you most excited about? Drop them in the comments right now. And if you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos where we dig deeper into growing specific perennials. I've got videos planned on establishing asparagus beds, propagating walking onions, and even how to process horseradish without crying your eyes out. Give this video a thumbs up if it changed how you think about gardening. Share it with someone who's tired of replanting their entire garden every single spring. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and remember the best time to plant a perennial was 5 years ago. The second best time is right now. Happy gardening!